is up, everybody? It's your boy Flash from ALWT Gaming, aka Malachi36 from At Least We Tried Gaming on April 4th, 2023. Episode 9, Season 3 of All Things Gaming. How is everyone doing today? I wanted to go ahead and talk to my boys on over here. We're here to talk some video game news with everybody in the public. We've been off for 2 weeks for spring break, if you will. Just kind of giving a little R&R, you know what I mean, for everybody inside the group. Be able to play their video games that they want to play, relax, not worry about streaming, all that good stuff. How did it do for you there, Mildewy Carrot, these 2 weeks off? How have you been? What have you been playing?
Been okay. Can't complain. You know, just been living life, and as you said, kind of just gaming. Been playing Sons of Forest, Phasmophobia, Drake's Hollow with 9-ball, Hey It's Abs, Gravity Mark II. Did a little bit of the Diablo 4 demo with you for a bit. Just checking that out. And I think if I've done anything else, been playing a lot of my City Sim games, Going Medieval, Cosmoteer, Wandering Village, just playing those, keeping up with them. And just keeping things going, you know, and that just kind of living life, man.
I heard that. I have to say, I'm kind of kicking myself on the Diablo 4 demo a little bit because the reason why is because like when I stopped it because I was getting tired. I was definitely getting tired that day, and I ended up sleeping after we got done playing the game and everything. I was like, I'll pick it up again later. I could have pushed out another hour had I realized that was the last day you could have played the demo. So like the very next day, like when I was talking to my buddy Muhizi about it, like because I was just like, yeah, I mean we've been playing this a little bit. He's like, oh yeah, I'll go ahead and download it, and that's when he's just like, oh no, it looks like I can't because it looks like it's over now. And I was like, oh snap. So yeah, that's why I'm kicking myself a little bit, but did enjoy my time with Diablo 4. I know that Mildewy Carrot beforehand was saying that was very similar to Diablo 3. There's not like a ton of changes that were there, but yeah. But as far as for me, for someone that hasn't played Diablo 3 in a very, very long time, I didn't get far in Diablo 3 anyway.
Does that have crossplay in it? I wonder. I got Diablo 3.
Does.
I beat it on PC.
It does. Well, Diablo 3 doesn't. Diablo 4 does. So because we were playing actually in the middle of me and Mildewy playing one of my buddies, Jay Flory, Warrior Defense. He jumped in and he was on PC.
Yeah. So it's got the PC, the crossover, which is nice, you know, because you don't have to then do, oh well, you're on PlayStation, well, I got to buy a second copy now, you know, which is nice to look at.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. What about you, 9-ball? What's you been up to for the past 2 weeks, and anything new been going on with you in the video game world, anime world, chilling world?
Being a villain.
No, just doing a bunch of, what was that? We were playing a bunch of different video games. More than likely Power Wash. Besides that, of course, Control. Like, I'm kind of frustrated because I'm stuck at a part. But outside of that, hours of Roblox with the kids. We've been playing a lot of various games. We tried a like MMO style game they have on there. We also played Doors. So we've been trying to get past Doors, and I don't know what the other games is. We've been playing so many other games, it's not even funny. And besides that, like Mildewy, Phasmophobia, Sons of the Forest, Drake's Hollow. Just enjoying it with y'all should join us, man. We've been playing with the gang.
Sons of the Forest is a lot of fun. Not really like horror scares or anything. Drake's Hollow is actually very interesting mechanics and all, and is story based too. You know, both of them are story based. So,
also been looking at. Oh, sorry. I'm also been looking a lot into getting back in. Probably gonna try some more Smite. I've been itching to play an MMO or something. I mean, not MMO, a MOBA. Yeah.
Final Fantasy?
I played Final Fantasy today, too. I've been trying to finish up that one, because I'm spinning back to finish up that one, finally.
7 Remake?
No, 14.
Oh, okay, cool.
said MMO there, Malachi. How did you get?
Well, the reason why because you said Final Fantasy, but then he went. I thought he was continuing on the games that he's just been playing in general, not specifically like MMORPG or anything like that, just games. But that's awesome, man. Yeah, and yeah, if you do jump back on 14, let me know, because I mean, again, I still have my subscription, so I kind of go back to that. For me in particular, this is actually I've been kind of up to a lot, so I'm proud to say I was able to mark off 2 games off of my backlog list that I beat. So one of them, well, they're both in the same series, and they are Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3. So
you did call me about that.
Yeah. So Mass Effect 3, I actually played it twice, like the ending portion of it twice, because I chose it as if I was, I chose it as if I didn't know that a 4th one was coming and like what my decision would have been. And then I did the other ending, which I was just like, I know the 4th one's coming, so I'm going to go ahead and do it this way. So, yeah, no spoilers there. I'll tell you guys. You guys both beat Mass Effect, and everyone else in the audience, you guys had plus years.
Wait, have you beaten Mass Effect yet, or are you still on the fence on that one? I can't remember.
Who, me?
Yeah, you beat it, right?
Yeah, I beat it.
Yeah, okay. I thought so.
I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, before you, Mildew, Nineball was one of the main people that was talking to me about Mass Effect back when I worked at the hospital with them.
It took you how long to get involved in this? I'm ashamed of you, Malachi.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have an Xbox. Remember, Legendary Edition didn't come out until last year, or a year and a half ago. So, but yeah, so that's actually when I started getting more into it, is because of that. Prior to that, I didn't have an Xbox, didn't really bother to get one, and by the time it came to PlayStation, it was so far gone that I was just like, I'm not going to backtrack. And then they came with the Legendary Edition. I was like, you know what? I will give this a shot. It is here all wrapped up in a lovely PlayStation bundle for me. It's just begging for me to play it. And that's exactly what I did. But yeah, I was about to say, the way I ended it the first time is I sacrificed myself. I threw myself inside the little beam or whatever, and everyone was able to live in peace and all that good stuff. Everyone's all synthetics mixed in with organics, and it's like a new hybrid of being. So that was something that I chose because I was just like, all right, that's the one I'm going to choose in the event that if I didn't know that 4th one was coming. I would have chose the destruction the first time, but the minute they said my girl Edie was going to die, if I did that, I was like, nah, ain't doing it. So I was just like, take me, Jesus.
You can't beat me.
Exactly. So yeah, so I was just like, yeah, it would have been a super easy. Again, now granted, I grown to like the Geth, but at that point, Legion was already dead, so I had no ties to the Geth. So if I was to sacrifice the Geth to stop the Reapers from terrorizing the entire galaxy, so be it. But once they said Edie, I was like, nope, yeah, that's a little too much. That's too much for me to handle. Throw my body inside the fire. The second time I did it, I did actually go ahead and sacrifice all the synthetics, primarily because I knew that there was going to be a second one and our 4th one, and I know that was the only other option as your EDM or whatever it's called is at the ESM. That's what it is. I think it is. Your ESM is at a certain rank, so mine was all the way up. And that was the one chance that Shepard has of potentially living. I know that they kind of tease at the end, and you don't really truly know, but they're kind of hinting towards that he actually survived that. So I was just like, if I do end up getting the 4th one, which I do plan on doing, whenever that comes out, then I'll be able to continue on with my character. And on top of that, I don't have to, I don't have to say goodbye to my relationship that I made in the second one that carried all the way over to the 3rd. So. And
it's good that you're thinking that far ahead. The thing and I'm going to throw this out there, is like, I mean, we've seen like with what they did between Dragon Age 2, and Dragon Age 3, where it's like you have like different characters.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's a completely different person. But the relationships, like, you still hear about. So it would be kind of interesting to see, do they do what they did with like Dragon Age 2 to Dragon Age 3, where it's like you're playing a different person in, say, the Mass Effect universe, and let's do 4 or 5, depending on who you're talking to. that it pretty much is like a new character, but then like you have mentions back to your old character, in certain ways. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're doing that, and if this is like a prequel, like a sequel to 3 because of what they showed in the trailer, or is this a future like one? Like how far into the future is it? So it's going to be interesting, and it may cause a lot of people to go back and replay the game to get the better ones, So we'll have to see.
Yeah. Yeah, so I definitely am in a fortunate position to where I feel like 4 is not going to be that far around the corner.
It's probably going to be a bit.
You think so? I think we'll probably get an announcement. I can see it being a 2024, 2025 game.
I'm going to say Dreadwolf first.
And absolutely. Yeah.
Then it would be
but even taking Dreadwolf into account, do you think Dreadwolf is that far off? Like, that's why I'm saying that. Is because we got a trailer for Dreadwolf. We also seen gameplay. We got a trailer for Mass Effect. I feel like Dreadwolf is almost done. Like, I won't be surprised if Dreadwolf comes out at the end of this year, mid of next year.
I'm going to be skeptical on that one just because of what we've seen in the market currently and how things have been handled. So I'm just going to kind of hold back on hoping for it. Now, well, I'm not going to hold back on hoping for it. I hope it does come out like that. I do. But I'm still looking at it going, maybe not. We'll have to see. Maybe take a minute. It may take a minute, So we'll have to wait and see because it feels like it's going to be one of those ones where it could go either way,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that we're getting really close to the end game of Dreadwolf. Like that's just what I feel in my gut. But
you know what? That should be the next game I'm gonna work on after Control.
What the Dragon Age series?
Yeah, I still got my main character somewhere.
Yeah, I will say once you're able to get through 1, everything else should be a pretty good breeze, and you'll actually enjoy the entire series in its entirety. Because that was how you felt about Dragon Age. I felt about the first Mass Effect.
There's a difference. The first Mass Effect was bad. The controls were bad. The story was good. The controls were bad.
Now, are you talking about first Mass Effect as in the one that was just like done in the Legendary Edition, or are you talking about the one that was the original Mass Effect?
Even the one with the Legendary Edition, because I never touched the first Mass Effect ever. So my first experience was the Legendary Edition, and it still felt pretty aged at some parts. I was like, this doesn't feel the greatest. I can, and you guys were telling me it's worse than this before. I was like, I don't know if I would have survived if I tried to play Mass Effect, the first one, outside of the Legendary Edition.
Go back and read the changes that they stated they made when they launched Legendary Edition to Mass Effect 1. Like, there's a lot in there compared to the other games.
Yeah, I heard about a couple things. I know one of the things was driving that vehicle in Mass Effect 1 was a nightmare.
Oh, God.
Okay, the Mako was nightmare. The Mako was nightmare fuel, but it led to a lot of funny fixes and stuff about it.
Oh, God. PTSD.
But I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying. Someone get the Mass Effect priest there for 9-ball. He needs it.
Oh, not the Mako. The AI is coming back.
I'm just saying in general.
The Mako was bad, but I feel like they took those controls, barely tweaked them, and then gave them to the Hammerhead, and you got that thing. LC 9-ball.
It wasn't as bad as Mass Effect. The Mass Effect 1 and the AI. And the original Mass Effect. Oh my God, they did so much stupid stuff. Standing out in the middle of open, stuff like that. You look at them, what are you doing? Go to cover.
They're like, no, we're fine. I'm down. It's like, no shit.
Go to cover. I can't do that, sir. Look, the rock's blocking you. Could you please go up? And picking an ability. Oh my God, just about pause the entire game. Like, Mass Effect 2 really cleaned that up. Having to pause the entire game to go.
That's one of the things I will say. I do enjoy playing the Legendary Edition. Is I can see the progression of each game getting drastically better. Because even when it got to Mass Effect 3, there was actually a sprint button, but in Mass Effect 2 and 1 there wasn't. And then in Mass Effect 3, you can actually like kind of go over obstacles and stuff. There still wasn't a jump button, but you can still like interact with them and go over them by pressing X real quick. You had to double tap it, so that part wasn't really the funnest, but it was still something that was, I can see the technology getting better as the games got later on. So I'm very curious to see how Mass Effect 4 is going to be handled, if it's even going to be called Mass Effect 4. I'm very curious to see what they're going to end up doing for the next one, and I have
bored with that argument.
yeah, I wonder. I'm very curious of how they're going to actually do that. Like, I am interested to see Shep, because the way that Mass Effect 3 ended, like, I generally all 3 endings, it really kind of gave you, or technically there's a 4th secret ending actually, but that fourth
PTSD's back.
That 4th secret ending really wasn't an ending; it was a game over. So like
that was them going, do you want to do this? Do you want to do it? Oh,
goddess of colors. No.
But yeah. So ultimately, I was able to go ahead and beat.
The colors.
I was able to beat Mass Effect.
Nine's crippled over there now.
I can see. That's why I'm changing the subject now, so I can go on over with the next one. So I beat Mass Effect 3. I played a little, like I said before, like you said earlier, I played a little bit of Diablo 4, played a little bit of that with you. I got to the 3rd stage on Wolong Fallen Dynasty. Did that with the Hey It's Abs and Gravity. And definitely a really, really fun time. Great game. However, and I'll say this for the public, I know I talked to you guys about this off stream, but on stream, I definitely want to say the connectivity, of crossplay between PC and console is not good when it comes down to fighting bigger bosses. I know Gravity looked it up, and it looks like it's mainly on the PC port side of it, and it's just that connection between PC and console is just, there's just something missing there that's not making it have a smooth transition. It's just rendering really badly and stuff. So it's just one of those things that you guys can do it, but you're kind of entering at your own risk. We were able to still manage to get through the entire 2nd level together. Me and Hey It's Abs, we replayed the 1st level together because you can't co-op until after you fight the first boss. And then after that you can start doing co-op. So we went back to that 1st level, tore that boss up, and then the second time, well, actually at first we got kind of kicked around a bit, but when we got kicked around because it was glitching really bad, like he was teleporting all over the place. Then the second time, we went to the 2nd stage all together. All of us was there for like pretty much the first time. Got through all this stuff. It took us a while to beat this big freaking ape, which was ridiculous. But we finally beat him, and then we fought this like big boar at the end of it, which is like the main boss of it. But again, yeah, ultimately I had a pretty good time with it. And then we got to the 3rd stage, and that's where we called it a day. But one thing I do like about Wolong Fallen Dynasty is that, like, after you end the co-op, it takes you back to where you were at before the co-op, like, you actually did the co-op. So I was back out at stage 2. However, because I progressed further with co-op, I was able to skip the entirety of stage 2 and go to where I left off with Hey It's Abs and Gravity. So, so that was definitely really cool. And I was like, yes, I like that. I like that a lot. One thing I will also say about Wolong Fallen Dynasty is that when you get to stage, so it follows the romance of the 3 kingdoms. So anyone that knows Dynasty Warriors story, because it's been the same since Dynasty Warriors 1 all the way until now. If you guys know like Guan Yu, Lu Bu, Liu Bei, Zheng Fei, all of them, that's what this game is portraying. It's just a different outlet to that. So you start off as the Yellow Turban Army, fighting that group.
Oh my god, we grew up on some Dynasty Warriors.
I thought it definitely looked like it. I could have sworn like it was kind of almost like, it looked like and this may just been me, just from what I took from just the game point, is that I thought it was like a Journey to the West game. You know, if you know that story I'm talking about. Yeah.
It's definitely, so I don't think Journey to the West correlates too heavy with the Romance of the 3 Kingdoms, because it definitely is Romance of the 3 Kingdoms, but you're not playing as the traditional Zheng Fei or anybody like that, Xiao Dun. You're playing as your creative player, and then those other players are actually embedded inside the storyline. So you start off as the Yellow Urban Army, that fight, then you go on over to where you're about to get ready to go to Hulao Gate, which is where we're at right now. I don't know if there's going to be a switch to where it switches from Romance of the 3 Kingdoms and then goes to Journey of the West. That I can't attest to because I'm not that far inside the game yet. But as of right now, is like verbatim the first mission of Dynasty Warriors, which is the Yellow Turban War, and that is but you're doing it on like a Bloodborne style, Devil May Cry style formula of fighting. So
gotcha.
Yeah, definitely really cool stuff there, and it feels really good. Like the combat feels amazing. One thing I will also say is that when you got to stage 3, there's a mishap that happens. I won't spoil it for you guys, but when you guys get to stage 3, there's a mishap that happens, and a character starts attacking your person. And let me tell you, man, that was one of the dopest cutscenes I've seen in video games. Period. One of the dopest, like, it was like I was watching a freaking movie right there. I was enjoying every single bit of that.
Did you just use the word dope in a sentence?
Of course. Yeah, it was one of the dopest things I've seen inside a video game. It was really, really tight.
It was so dope, it was doped.
Exactly. It was
That's bogus.
So there's that, and then got fully. Yeah, it's on. I hear you. Oh, you're light. Like I said, I thought you said your mic. But yeah, you're So there's that. Got caught up on quite a few animes, and I started a new one. So there's 2 animes that one of them started on Saturday for me. Like it literally dropped on Saturday, and I came across it, and it's called Hell's Paradise. And let me tell you, that is one heck of first episode. That is one heck of a first episode. I had no fandom for it, had no anticipation for it at all. Just saw it on Crunchyroll, and I was already caught up on all my other animes. I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and check what this is about. Absolutely fantastic.
Come on.
Absolutely fantastic. Hey, it's Abs inside the chat says, I'm demanding to lower the cost of sound alerts. I got you. I'll take care of that.
He's going to forget about it.
I'll do it after stream. So there's that. Hell's Paradise is first. If I had to grade the entire anime off of episode 1 on a scale of 1 to 10, that is easily a 9.5. Easily. And that's me being like even a little bit critical of it, to be completely honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, it was really, really good, that first episode. Now, is the rest of the anime going to be a 9.5? We'll have to see in every single week. But as of right now, that first episode was spectacular. I'm all in. And then there's another anime that my buddy had introduced me to called Melissa. What's it called? Let me see. Because it's Maleficent Spirits, I think is what it's called.
Maleficent.
I don't know if it's Maleficent. I can't even say the word right now, so I have to actually look it up. Malevolent Spirit. Malevolent. Yeah, I cannot say that word right now. But yeah, he introduced me to that, and it has very much like I'm not all in, but I'm interested. I'm very interested. And because I only watched episode 1, and it's all in sub, and I was really tired last night, so I didn't get to watch like more than that. But it's very much Jujutsu Kaisen vibes. So if you guys like Jujutsu Kaisen, which I love, if you guys do like that, you might find this one interesting like I do right now. So I have to definitely check that out. Hey, it's Ab says, ooh, I still need to watch Hell's Paradise. Yeah, I think you and Gravity, I think you both are going to absolutely love it, because that show is good so far, and it's only one episode right now. Only one episode out right now. And then there's another anime too that I started, which I don't have an opinion about it yet. It's a slice of life, but it is called. Let's see. It is called. Oh, I've been watching Ningen Fushin. Been watching that a bit too.
That didn't sound English at all.
It's not. That's not English.
I'm both like, what was that?
Ningen Fushin. I was like,
Ningen Fushin, yeah. Ningen Fushin.
Like,
Malevolent Spirits. All right, here it is. It is My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999. So that literally...
That sounds familiar, and I don't know why.
That one, just like Hell's Paradise, that dropped on Saturday. And
I didn't look it up, but I think I might have read a bit of the manga version.
I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if there's a There's a manga out about it. Yeah,
I've been doing a lot more reading too, which is inflicting my game time, but I've always enjoyed reading. So.
Hey, it's Abs inside the chat says Ningen means human in Japanese.
That's not a human word.
It's not an English word. It's a human word. It's Japanese, which is what she just said. It's just not an English word, which makes sense because it's Japanese. Bars.
Like,
but yeah,
Nimble's like, I need to check on that.
So that is that. So that's kind of what I've been up to. And then later on tonight, I do plan on watching Masamune-kun's Revenge Season 2 because that should have dropped today. And I'm very excited for that. And she says "or people" in Japanese. That's what that is. But without further ado, I know we're about like 20 minutes in, so let's go ahead and jump. Well, before we jump inside this story, I do have a little update for you guys on Fantasy Gaming League.
I thought you were about to give us a commercial.
Nah, I won't tell you about Ray's Energy Drink, which you guys can just type in ALWT Gaming and check out, get 50% off. I won't say that today. You know what I mean? Even though they have multiple flavors and it doesn't have sugar in them. You know what I mean? But,
it even has like a red color, like what I picked on Mass Effect 3.
Yeah. and you can also do that at www.repsports.com, reppsports.com. But that's neither here nor there. This is not a commercial. This is not an ad. You know what I mean? We're going to just talk about some Fantasy Gaming League right here. So for anyone that does not know, again, we have a Fantasy Gaming League that's out there. And it literally works very similar as fantasy football. But instead of being against one person every week, you're against everybody that's inside the entire league on an annual basis. And it's on a 100-point scale with 70 points being the threshold. And it goes off of Metacritic. So anything that scores higher than 70 points gains you points. Anything that scores lower than 70 points on Metacritic loses you points. Anything that's right at 70 neither gains nor loses. And then there's also counter picks out there. So if you counter pick an item that is on another person's list and it comes out and does poorly, you gain those points that they lost. And then vice versa. If it comes out and does great, you lose those points that they gain. And then if it hits right at 70, neither side loses or gains. And then of course, if it does not come out that year, you just made it a vacant spot for them because they cannot drop that game. So we have Zaka Corp. This is what's on your list right now. You got Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom pending. Wulong Fallen Dynasty got 11 points. And after playing that, I think it should be a little higher than that, to be honest with you. I think it should be closer to 15 points. But that's just flash off the tap. You know what I mean?
I think you're being biased.
Hey, I'm not the biggest fan of Souls-like games, and I am interested. I'm enjoying my time with Wulong. I actually am.
That's good.
Redfall is pending. Wolf Among Us 2 is not coming out this year. Yep, not coming out this year. The Plucky Squire pending. Senua's Hellblade 2 pending. Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 pending. System Shock pending. Tekken freaking 8, dude. I'll trade you pending. It has an open spot, and then you have a counter pick of Sons of the Forest. ALWT Gaming, aka me. I have Final Fantasy 16, Street Fighter 6, Hades 2, Forza Motorsport Xbox Series X version. Those are all pending. Horizon Call of the Mountain got me 10 points. Oxenfree 2, Lost Signals, Eater Knight, Stellar Blade, Power World, Remnant 2. Those are all pending. And I have a counter pick of Black Myth Wukong, which is on Gravity's list, and that's not coming out this year.
I gotta put that on my wish list, by the way.
What? Black Myth?
Remnant 2.
Oh, Remnant, yeah. Ashes from the Remnant 2. Yeah. We'll regroup when that happens, because I know we played the first one together, and we beat the first one, all of us together, which was a good time.
Oh, yeah, it was a very good game.
Right now we have Illumina's Living with, he hasn't picked up any games yet, but he's in second without picking up any games. He has Resident Evil remake, which got him 24 points.
It's from what I'm hearing from everybody that played it, it is spectacular. I'm probably gonna buy that here shortly and add that to my collection.
It's a 92 on Metacritic.
Yeah, I'm buying it full price, and you know I've never bought a game at full price.
Yeah, that is got 24 freaking points. That is insane.
It's just that good.
Hollow Knight Silksong is pending. Has Octopath Traveler 2, 15 points. Like a Dragon Ishin, 11 points. Sea of Stars pending, and he has 5 open spots. He has a counter pick of Wolf Among Us 2, which is confirmed not coming out this year. Then next up, we have Titan Brain Go Punch, aka Silent, he has Fire Emblem Engage, 11 points. Liza P, Armor Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. Pikmin 4, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, those are all pending. Theater Rhythm, Final Bar Line, 16 points. Metro Prime 4, Dragon Age Dread freaking Wolf.
It's fast.
Yeah, he beat me to the punch because I put in a bid for that game.
Can't wait. You gotta put when you put in a bid, you gotta think about who's gonna bid against you.
But here's the thing. I thought that was I figured Mildew Carrot would have been the only other person to bid against me on this game.
I think like that's a popular title.
I didn't go near that. I knew that was going to be a fight. I'm like, I don't want to get involved.
But yeah, those are all pending. He has 2 open spots in his counter pick of Bayonetta Origins, Cereza, and the Lost Demon, which got him negative 11 points, guys.
Yeah, it just negated his entire Fire Emblem Engage.
It really did. It really did.
I had a feeling that game was going to do good because of its differential to Bayonetta. And
hey, I'm not going to lie to you. I did not think it was going to do good.
Yeah, I thought it'd be more of a miss than a hit because of the Bayonetta fan bases. Platinum Games is known for its speed play.
Yeah.
I know. But this one, I heard a whisper. I heard a whisper from the void.
I feel it, man. Speaking of Carrot Patch Inc., we have Mildew Carrot here with his game list. Look like Hogwarts Legacy, 14 points. Marvel Spider freaking Man 2, open spot. Wild Hearts, 9 points. I think that went down. It was at 81 before, I think.
It might have. I know there's been some on and offs with that.
Company of Heroes 3, 10 points. Sons of the Forest, pending. Advanced Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. Minecraft Legends, those are both pending. Terranil, 12 points. Adelizer Ryza, 3. Alchemist of the End and the Secret Key. That is an anime title right there. But that is 13 points. He has an
which one was that?
Adelizer Ryza.
I've been looking at those still. Like I've seen them. I haven't picked one up. I'm probably gonna pick one up during the summer sale. I got them on my wish list. They look interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
He has an open spot really and he has a counter pick of One Piece Odyssey, which got him negative 4 points. But even with that negative 4, still in first place.
Wait, what?
You're in first place right now. Yeah. I mean, you had some games that dropped, which put you in that spot, but still, like, yeah, you're back in first right now.
Uh-oh. Do we have a dynasty?
We might. Dr. Q, aka Dr. Keys, aka Shallon Keys, has Suicide Squad Kills Justice League pending. Going back to Suicide Squad Kills Justice League, I don't know if that's going to be good anymore. I don't think that's going to be good.
He rage quit on that game when he was on here with us. It's like, and he's still keeping it? Yeah, he's just like, it's so stay.
It did not get good reviews. That's the reason I went back under the hood again.
Yeah.
From what I heard, the people that tested it said it was bad.
Suicide Squad Kills Justice League pending. Dead Space Remake got 19 points. ALWT 2 pending. Dead Island 2 pending. Bayonetta Origins, Cereza, and the Lost Demon, 11 points. He has 5 open spots and has a counter pick of Forspoken, which got him 3 points.
What game was that again?
Forspoken.
What?
Exactly.
What game was that again?
Gravitron for Gravity Mark II. He has Star Wars Jedi Survivor pending.
Let's just skip him. Let's not put him.
Yes, Forspoken, negative 3 points. Atomic Heart got him 4 points. Black Myth Wukong not coming out this year. Skull and Bones pending. He has 5 open spots, and he has a kind of pick of Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. We love you, Gravity. We love you, man.
It's his first year.
Yeah, hey, that's what it is. It's his first year.
Like, that's the same as what Ohio went through, you know.
Yeah.
It's the amazing process.
If it's any testament to that, if what you just said is the same thing that Ohio went through, if it's any testament to that, if you decide to do this in 2024, you'll probably win first. That's what Mildew is saying there, Gravitron. So keep your head up high, my guy.
Keep it high, Gravity.
And then lastly, our former winner, Ohio, make Ohio great again. Diablo 4 pending, Starfield pending, Assassin's Creed Mirage pending, One Piece Odyssey 4 points, Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl pending, and then he has
it's not even have a date anymore.
Yeah, it's that whole. I mean, Russia is still being dicks out there, so
that whole
situation out there is.
Yeah. He has 5 open spots, and he has a counter pick of Skull and Bones. So that is it. So once again, who's in first place right now with 54 points? Carrot Patch Inc. Second place, Illuminized Living. Third place is Protect Your Brain Go Punch. Fourth place.
I thought it was it's Dr. Q's.
Oh, it is Dr. Q's. Yeah, you're all right.
Yeah.
Dr. Q, yep, he's third place. Fourth place is Titan Brain Go Punch. Fifth place is Zaka Corp. Sixth place is ALWT Gaming. Seventh place is Moga Make Ohio Great Again. And then honorably mentioned is Gravitron. Gravity, love you, man. God, love you, man.
Thanks for playing, Gravity.
Yeah. So, but without further ado, let's go on over to this gaming news here. We got some stuff to talk about, and I do want to kind of open up for the discussion too as we talk about this. So, PlayStation Showcase rumors, and this is the first time in a while that I pulled an article from Push Square, so we're going to talk about it a little bit. Sammy Barker from Push Square says this in their article. Aside from a handful of state of plays, we barely heard a peep from Sony in almost 2 years. We know that games like Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and Marvel's Wolverine are in development, but aside from vague comments about Last of Us standalone multiplayer spinoff, we have no idea what the rest of its first-party team are up to. In fact, the roadmap for PlayStation 5 is largely non-existent outside of third-party stuff, and that's without even touching the PSVR 2. We're long overdue for some kind of presentation on the platform holder, and then it looks like it may not be that far away. Giant Bomb's Jeff Grubb, who's notorious for largely reliable insider information, claims there will be a proper PlayStation showcase prior to Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest, which is currently pegged for June 8th. Obviously, that leaves a pretty large window for when the event could take place, but it's good to have a rough idea. Grubb has previously mentioned that the Japanese giant has been, quote-unquote, saving the good stuff for the show, and given its uncharacteristically quiet the company's been, expectations will be sky high. There's pausing the article for a second. I love this, but I hate this, because if it does not meet that expectation, it bothers me. You know what I mean? Like, it messes with my emotions on that. Like, what am I going to see here? So I'm very excited, but when they do stuff like this, I'm just like, So we'll see, but continue on.
It's going to be like the greatest thing this year, there, Malachi.
If it's the dopest thing this year, I'll be all the way down for that. But but when you're saying expectations are going to be sky high because they've been so quiet for almost 2 years, that's what's making me like, okay, they better freaking bring it. Like, I want to see more Final Fantasy VII Remake. I don't need to see any more 16, because at that point 16 will be right around the corner, like, because it comes out in June. I don't need to see any more 16. If you want to do like a little teaser trailer, all right, cool, here, there. But I don't need any more details on that. I'll just give me the game. But what else? What are you going to work on? Is there going to be a Legend of Dragoon 2 remake? Or a Legend of Dragoon remake? Is it going to be like? We'll talk about it in a second, because that's not what we're going to talk about. So there's chatter about setting up a Phase 2 for the PS5's release schedule, so it should be much bigger than your average state of play. Of course, none of this is officially confirmed by Sony. So temper your expectations until it is. End story. End quote. So I do want to talk about this again, because again, like we Jeff Grubb is, again, for someone from Giant Bomb, like, reliable source, saying that's coming out before June 8th. So when you're looking at that is. So we just entered April. We're on April 4th right now. So we have all of April. We have all of May that it can come out. When do we think that this is going to drop? Do we think it's going to drop June 1st? Because that's still before. That's a Thursday. That's still before June 8th, technically. And then you have all of May. You also have April, which it could be coming out in April too as well. I doubt it will come in April. Just let me make sure that that's clear on the record. I don't think it's going to come in April. But there's still that possibility. Where are our heads at when we hear about PlayStation Showcase first and foremost? Let's start there, and I'm gonna start with Nightball.
Oh, you're starting with me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, start with the best.
Well, I'm waiting to see what they show. I really don't have many games really on my list right now. I need to go and start checking into them while I'm off. Only thing I know right now is it keeps showing up on all my channels, and I just checked on Forbes that the PlayStation VR is not doing too well.
It's not. But here's the thing, though. it's not so much the software. It's the because the software itself is mediocre to good. Some of it's bad. The problem is the price of entry. The sales of the actual units is not selling well because one, they're not even selling them at GameSpots. They're selling them strictly through the PlayStation Store, like PlayStation or whatever. Like, so it's not, you can't just go to Walmart and pick one up. You can't go to GameStop. You can't go to Target. It's only through PlayStation. That's one issue. And then two, you have the freaking PSVR 2 headset more expensive than the console. How in the world does that make sense? So you're making people to get a $400, $500 console depending on what version you get. Then you're making them drop another $550 for a PSVR 2 headset, which don't get me wrong, I want it, but another $550 and then I have to spend $30 to $60 on the software I want? No. Back to you, Nineball.
Okay, but this is no surprise with E3. With E3 completely shutting down, if anybody didn't know, E3 is not. It's not going.
No,
Everybody
absolutely.
backed up.
Yeah, E3's dead. Jeff Grubb said so.
Yeah. So, surprise news flash! You just got an extra piece of news.
Now back to the original story.
Back to the original story. Yep. But the thing is to be honest, that's no surprise. I mean, they're going to release it before. I'm probably saying mid to late May, probably early June. I don't think they're going to let do it too early, but you want to hit around the summertime too.
I'm going to do something a little fun here, because you guys already know. I talked to you guys off stream that I wanted to do our predictions. I want you to predict a date, Nineball, an actual date of when it's going to hit. That will be the bonus. That will be the bonus right there.
I don't like this round.
May 25th.
You said May 25th. All right.
Snaps.
So
going
bonus.
Big there, Nineball.
May
No.
25th. All right, there we go.
But I think, to be honest, they have quite a few, and I think they're gonna do theirs. They're gonna definitely do it probably around that time, May, somewhere in that area. Trying to beat Xbox to them to getting the kids, getting an impression on people. Them saying it's stellar. I mean, I'm not gonna hold my breath. I just want to see what they got. See if anything's really good. And I know they have, like, for example, The Last of Us. They have Silent Hill. I wouldn't say that is a place. I don't know if that's PlayStation or not.
It's Konami. It's not. I don't think it's necessarily PlayStation.
I don't know if it's just PlayStation. I think it. I don't know.
It is. The originals are PlayStation only. At least for Silent Hill.
They relaunched on both consoles though.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. I don't think it's like.
But that's a whole nother trauma. Speaking of Silent Hill. Speaking of trauma, we're not gonna go into Konami and how they dealt with that game. But
or didn't
I think
quick little shout out to Hey It's Abs for the 25 months subscribes. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right, go ahead.
Appreciate that.
I'm thinking definitely around the date I gave you. It'll be somewhere around there, either that or 1 week up or 1 week back. But I'm thinking that date. I think it's going to be pretty good because I think they're going to hit hard this year. And I think, to be honest, I'm going to make another bold take.
Okay.
Most of these games will not be backwards compatible.
Oh, like you're probably talking about like last gen?
Yeah, last gen.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I don't even think that's necessarily a bold take, to be honest with you. I think that's the
I know. But for anybody that's holding out hope, with the PlayStation 5 being as accessible as it is now, like somebody was telling me at work, he was like, yeah, I see them at the stores now. Yeah, like, remember, I couldn't even find none. And he's like, man, I went past, I think he went to Best Buy or something. He's like, yeah, I seen the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Oh, go on there. I feel like there's probably going to be focused more on the PlayStation 5. I don't know about the PlayStation VR 2, but I think they'll be focused more on PlayStation 5 than VR 2.
I doubt. I don't think they're going to. They might show a couple things for the VR 2, but I don't like. I kind of want to feel like that this is the PSVR 2, the way that it launched, the way that it's priced and stuff like that. if they're going to fix anything with it, that's going to be a blog post. That's going to be something that's away from the showcase because they only want to highlight good things for the showcase. And PSVR 2 is just right now the current state of it. Technology is amazing. Games are good to great to okay on some of them, but it's not positive in a spectrum of everything to talk about at a showcase. I just don't see it happening. It's almost like it's a passion project. You know what I mean?
They would have to hit with like a banger on that one.
Or a project. I can't even say passion project, just a project. Because like well, even for like the Vita was a fantastic device, and you saw what happened with that.
No. To be honest, somebody was talking about that actually. I read this a long time ago. That they abandoned the Vita, yet the Vita's so better than the PlayStation VR. They went with PlayStation VR 2, which ain't doing too well. And ironically, which is going to hit into like later on, the Steamdeck is doing exceptionally well. And everybody was like, I wonder why they never went back to it. Somebody was talking about that one day.
Going back to the Vita?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love for them to go back to the Vita. I would absolutely love that. And because again, when I had my Vita during that PS3, Vita, and PS4 time period, because you're able to, they were all interconnected so well. I loved that. But that lo and behold, they just didn't like. I think there was something that had to do, like, I know one of the reasons why is because the cost of those chips in another country went up by like a lot or whatever, which is part of the reason why they kind of abandoned it, and then development for the device just wasn't supported enough, or something weird like that. Because I remember seeing that in an article previously.
But it's always weird with them. They had both things that are big. They had Game Pass with PlayStation Now before Game Pass really took off. It's just they didn't do it right, and they completely flopped. And then you see the other person, Xbox, come in and do it, and it took off.
Yeah.
They had PlayStation Vita before PlayStation Vita took off. Even before Steam Deck and them took off.
Uh-huh.
It did okay, but then they quickly abandoned it, and then Steam Deck, like I said, launched, and the rest, Steam Deck, and even the Switch. Like, my nephew was here last week because my sister and them came in from out of town, and he has a Switch with him, and he plays it. He likes to play it at night and stuff while he's sitting upstairs. So, while he's just sitting around. But the Nintendo Switch and all those did really well, which was shocking.
You know what's crazy, too? I just looked it up. PS Vita came out in 2011. Switch came out in 2017. So PS Vita had a good amount of success, that potential, even before the Switch even came out, and they just did not follow up with it. That is so crazy to think about.
Doesn't surprise me, to be honest.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about all of this there, Mildewy, as far as like the PlayStation Showcase itself? Do you have an estimated date of when you think it's going to actually drop?
It's gonna drop when it's hot. No, see, what was 9 balls again? 9 ball years was like what, June?
He said May 25th.
Oh, May 25th.
Yeah, which is a Thursday.
Trying to pull up my calendar here so I can remember what days will line up.
I'm bringing my calendar as well.
It's like, let's see here, May 25th. I'm going to see your May 25th. And I'm going to go June 1st.
You took mine. Yep. I locked mine in as June 1st as well. So, yeah, me and you are on the same date.
And the only reason I'm saying that... Oh, wait, you're June 1st too?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Forget that. I'm going to take June 8th. Ugh. That's a horrible take.
They said they said it's gonna be before June 8th. So if you did June 8th, then that's Jeff.
They're saying before June 8th, but they really mean it's gonna be June
8th. Which that would be terrible because that's Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest.
I know. I think it's gonna be June 1st, just because it's at that point where it's like right at the start of June. Everyone's like, I don't remember when schools get out. Like, actually, when do schools drop?
It depends.
I think they.
What's the main average?
Oh yeah,
I think it's like towards the end of May. Let me see.
Generally, it is. I think it's like the first couple weeks of June. Like June
Yeah,
6th.
I think June 1st then sounds about right because it's getting to that point where they're getting ready to let schools out. The kids are starting to be I need something to do, and then they're like, hey, here's some games coming
Oh
out,
my
kids.
God! How do we shut this? Just buy them a game.
So yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be on June 1st.
Heard that. All right, I'm trying to see real fast because I'm in June.
That's a Thursday too.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like June is actually going to be. I don't see what their last day of school is officially, but it looks like that everything slows down in June. So I think that kids start graduating, all that stuff is in June. So yeah, so no, I'm right there with you, man. I think that's going to be June 1st as well. So we'll have to see exactly what that's going to pan out. We'll see who has the bonus rounds. If either one of us gets it, taking it back on over to you there, 9Ball. I want to go down the list. I'm gonna start with 9Ball, go to Mildewey, come to me, then back to 9Ball. What prediction do you have that we're going to see at Summer Game Fest, that we're going to see at the PlayStation Showcase when it does happen?
How many predictions do I get?
3.
Ooh, 3.
Yeah. So your
Final Fantasy.
So you're gonna
7.
You're gonna do your first one now, and then it'll go on over to the Mildewey.
Final Fantasy 7.
All right.
The second part.
All right. So Final Fantasy.
I think it's
7,
Rebirth, right?
Rebirth, yeah.
Yeah, because that started everything with an R.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to use a special word to start it with a re. Kids filling the rest.
So you got Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Are we seeing the gameplay? Seeing the trailer?
We better see some gameplay in a trailer.
Gameplay.
They've announced it. They better not Metroid Prime us.
Trailer yet?
It wouldn't surprise me if they did.
I know we have a release. I know we have a release window, but do we have a release date?
I don't think we have a date yet.
You don't think we have a date?
Well, yeah, we should have a date. Yeah, I thought you meant
Thursdays.
So we got a release window right now where it's supposed to be winter of this year.
Yeah. That's very vague.
Yep.
But it's just vague enough.
Okay.
I'll put a release window. I'll put a release date.
Okay. So we have Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth gameplay trailer release date. I said gameplay / trailer release date. Cool.
Because I swear, if they Metroid Prime Force and act like the game, they never showed it. Like, Metroid? What are you talking about?
Mildewy Carrot, what is your prediction for your first game? Or what we're going to see at the event?
At the PlayStation Showcase?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some more Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 2? Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised. Here, I think it's still pending, right?
For, saying summer. I think it said summer. I don't even think it said summer. I think it just said 2023.
I think we're going to get a date for it finally, too.
Release date. Okay.
And then definitely some, I'm going to say trailer gameplay as well. I feel like we're overdue.
Trailer and gameplay?
Yeah, because we're overdue for that, and that's always been a big one for them, is the Spider-Man series, especially since the first one was like, holy crap, you know.
I'm going to take mine in a little bit of a different direction. I know, like, if you guys don't pick this one for your second prediction, I'm going to choose it for my second one, but I'm going to take this one a little different direction. I think we're going to get some Coda remake news.
Okay.
So I think we're going to see that. Maybe some gameplay. I don't think we're going to see a trailer. Or not trailer, but I don't think we're going to get a release date. But I think we're going to get some gameplay. I think we're going to get a trailer. But I think that Coda remake is going to make an appearance at the PlayStation Showcase.
Ooh, look at you.
You know what I mean? You guys got to spice it up a little bit. Got to switch it up.
Taking the Hail Mary swing right there.
Going back to
like
you,
all those
9Ball,
other predictions.
Going back for your other prediction there, 9Ball. What are you thinking?
Oh, shoot, you made me forget. Oh, The Last of Us Part 2. It's the remake of that.
The remake of You already talked about Factions?
No, not Factions. You know how they did The Last of Us already? They just released the first part?
Yeah.
The rest of it.
Part
if I'm not mistaken.
What do you... Because part 2... All right, so there's The Last of Us. Then they came out with Last of Us 2, which was on PS4. Then they came out with the first part of they just remade Last of Us first one.
That's what I'm talking about. The second part of that one.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think Last of Us has a second part. I think second part, like part 2 that's already out, they just rebranded the first Last of Us as part 1. So part 2 already exists because that just came out like 2 years ago. So I don't think so. They just called the first Last of Us part 1 now on the remake. That's all that they did. I could put it down as far as the second part, but it's not gonna. I'm very confident that's not happening.
No, then give me a second.
Mm-hmm. It's really weird how they did it because Last of Us Part 1 literally is Last of Us, the very first one, just prettier. That's literally mechanics a little differently. They just called it Part 1 so that way it ties into Part 2 even more smoother than it originally did. So it's essentially the same exact game.
Okay. All right. You got me on that one.
If I wanted to be conniving, I could have let you take it and just not get any points. But yeah, I just wanted to clarify that part 2, a remake of that is probably not going to happen at least for another like 10, 15 years, if that.
So he says.
Yeah. Huh. God, what was I can't remember the other one I was looking at.
You want me to come back to you?
Yeah, spin back to me.
All right. Mildew Care, what are you thinking for your second pick? What are we having here?
PlayStation Showcase.
Mm-hmm. Big picture.
Ooh.
I kind of want to say Wolverine, but that one I'm very skeptical on.
You think so? You think so?
No, I said I want to say it, but that one's just.
I'm more shocked that you are skeptical about it. Like, what makes you skeptical about it?
I just because of how silent I've been hearing a lot of these companies being with some of their stuff, and like how long it's taken them to get stuff out. I feel like we wouldn't hear it now.
So here's
giving me a feeling of that.
Here's one thing that I'll throw at you, just to kind of put your mind at ease a little bit. All right. So yes, they've been silent, but you have to remember who's working on it. It's Insomniac. So they came out with Spider-Man in 2018. Then shortly after that, they came out with Ratchet and Clank. And then shortly after that, in the same year, they came out with freaking Miles Morales. And then in that same year that both of those games came out, they had announced that in 2023 was going to be Spider-Man, and then they didn't give a date for Wolverine, but that's assumably going to be like 2024 and beyond. So I say all that to say, they don't sleep. It's in the name. They don't sleep. So I do think that I think that we're going to see it there. But that's just my thing. And this is me kind of giving up my second pick. That was going to be my second pick if no one else said it.
Take it.
Sure, why not? I'll take it.
All right. So we got Wolverine. So what are we thinking? Release date, release window, gameplay, trailer?
I'm thinking another cinematic trailer with some possible gameplay. I don't think we're going to get any dates currently.
All right, cinematic trailer, minor gameplay.
Well, give it a year. They might give a year with this one.
I'll give a year, like a release year?
Yeah, I think they might give a year.
All right.
But that's about it.
All right, cool. Do you have another one there, Nineball? You want me to take this one?
I think I got one. It's gonna be a long shot.
Okay.
Took me a little bit to dig one up here, but we're gonna try a game that disappeared off the map, and for some reason it's just appeared. what was that? Pragmatica. We can try that one.
Pragmata?
Yeah. I'm going to give that one a shot.
All right. That was by Capcom, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Pragmata.
But it did show up with Sony's before.
Yeah. They showed it at their showcase 2 years ago. So that's a good call. So we got Pragmata. What we thinking? Gameplay, trailer, release date, release year?
Definitely release date. And some gameplay.
Date, gameplay.
Because we're going all in on this. To be honest, I'm not going to lie. If they're saying it's going to be like the next big thing, like the second coming, they're going to have to go all in.
For Pragmata?
On everything.
Interesting. Okay. Are we having any trailer at all? Like, is there going to be like a cinematic trailer, or is it going to be strictly gameplay, release date, Pragmata?
We might have we're gonna have the whole shebang.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna have like a little bit, then they're gonna show some gameplay, they're gonna leave out with the trailer, and then they're gonna release date.
You said that with confidence, like release date.
Release the beasts.
So I am going to. Let's see. I think we're going to get a Ghost of Tsushima 2.
Ooh.
Dreaming big.
Yeah, I think we're good. Well, because there's Ghost of Tsushima team from Sucker Punch. They already established that they're working on the Ghost of Tsushima 2. Do I know what it's going to be about? No. I have no idea what it's going to be about. But I am very curious to see what they're going to do. I'm not even sure if it's even going to be Jin Sakai from the first game. So it'll be very interesting. So I think we're going to see Ghost of Tsushima 2. I think we'll see a trailer. I don't know if we'll see. I'll say gameplay. I'll say gameplay. And I will say release year. And then I'll double up. There's one more that I want to throw out there to you guys. And I'm going to say anything new from Blue Point.
That's vague. That's like saying I'm going to say everything new from PlayStation.
No, it's not. Blue Point doesn't like, they don't come out with stuff every single showcase. Now, if I was to be like anything new from Naughty Dog, then yeah, that'd be very big. But Blue Point is literally one of those companies that's just like you don't know what they're going to be having to work on. I'm going to say on this one, there's an extra bonus if it's Legend of Dragoon remake.
Ooh.
I think he's just giving himself points now.
No, hey, that's a tall order right there. If they hit both of that, so if I hit that extra bonus, that'll be 5 points right there.
I feel like he's stacking the deck there, Nineball. What do you think?
He's definitely stacking the deck.
So now I'm gonna snake it back up to Mildewy Carrot. What do you have for your last draft pick, or not draft pick, but for your last prediction pick?
You know what? I'm just gonna go for this one, Dreadwolf.
Okay. So you're going Dreadwolf. So Dragon.
I'm gonna say cinematic gameplay trailer and an actual release date.
Cinematic gameplay trailer release date. Not release year, release date.
Like full date, like here's like get ready, people.
I like the confidence there. You're making me happy for this. You're making me happy for that. And last but not least, it's the 9-ball. What are we thinking for your number C pick?
Number 3, since we're kind of like swinging for the
hills.
You did get KOTOR, that's right.
Yeah, that was my first one. Yeah.
Yep. And you got Dreadwolf.
I'll trade you.
No, I'm not gonna trade him. I'm gonna go somewhere. Death Stranding 2.
Is Death Stranding 2? Interesting.
Ooh, I haven't heard much about that, but I hear what I see what you're putting down. I see what you're putting down there, Nineball.
That is very interesting. Okay, so what are we thinking? All the details of your pick.
So what do we got? I'm gonna say we're gonna get a trailer and maybe somebody to talk about it, like how far they are. I think they're gonna get a generalized window. I don't mean for a game of that size. I don't know if you ever downloaded Death Stranding 1. That game is
had friends
about
who
100 gigs. Cause I got it downloaded, I think, onto my PlayStation, on my PC right now. Let me
I think
see.
the only thing that beats that is Call of Duty. That's just because.
I think Cyberpunk gets close to it as well.
Oh yeah, that one
Yeah,
definitely. I can
yeah.
see.
Cyberpunk
That's
is definitely 100.
74 gigs, yeah. Final Fantasy 15 beats it. Okay.
Oh,
That was crazy.
that's
So you're saying Death Stranding 2 trailer, discuss game. Are we seeing gameplay? Are we getting a release date, release year?
Probably not a release date or a year. I'm gonna go because this is the swing of the fences. But I feel like they're gonna show it and show that it still exists. Kojima's still with us.
All right. All right, so going over this list one more time, we have It's a Nine Ball. His first 3 picks are Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, gameplay, trailer, release date. Pragmata, release date, gameplay, and trailer. Death Stranding 2, trailer, and discussing the game. He has a date pick of May 25th. Mildewy Carrot has Spider-Man 2 release date, gameplay, trailer. Wolverine cinematic trailer, minor gameplay, release year. Dragon Age 3, aka or 4, my bad. Dragon Age 4, aka Dreadwolf, and that'll be cinematic gameplay release date. He has a date pick of June 1st, and then I have KOTOR remake news gameplay trailer. Ghost of Tsushima 2 trailer gameplay release year. Anything new from Bluepoint, extra bonus if it's Legend of Dragoon remake. And then I also have the same date of the showcase, which is June 1st. So I'm going to lock that in, and we'll keep an eye on it for the rest of this month and all of May to see if any of us are right on the date. Get some bonus points that way. Those bonus points are going to be, we'll say that those are 5 points as well, if we get the exact date. And then we'll just kind of go from there. So one last thing before we go over to story number 2. What is the number one thing that you want to see at the PlayStation Showcase whenever it happens? Mildewy.
like, what do you mean?
Like just number one game, yeah. Like what do you want to get out of as a PlayStation Showcase as a whole? Is it a game? Is it an experience? Do you want to see something new? Is there IP that is just made up in your head that you want to see? Like what do you want to see from PlayStation Showcase overall?
I just want to see like a lot of get more information on a lot of the games that they've already mentioned. See a lot of the newer games that are coming out, and definitely hopefully see more indie games. You know, I definitely love indie games, like indie developers and all, and I want to see more, kind of like Canada was in a way, like a brand new developer, and they totally knocked it out of the park. So I definitely want to see the support there for those groups.
I heard that. 9 Ball.
What do I want to see?
Yeah, from PlayStation Showcase, whether it's a game, experience, anything new, like what are you thinking?
I want to see some wild and crazy IPs. One thing I have to give Sony for is the storytelling. In their games, they do a really good job. I was just watching the backstory of, I don't know if you ever heard of it. The backstory of Lost Planet 3. But I need to check this out to be sure. And
I've heard of Lost Planet.
Yeah, Lost Planet 3. And which had a really good storytelling and stuff. And I believe that even the writer of that went on to make a game for them. God, I can't. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yep. In January 2014, writers were nominated for Outstanding Writing in Video Games for video game writing by the community, along with Assassin's Creed Black and The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
but they do really good on her storytelling. So I feel like Sony can release some new games that will have really good things about it. And that's what I want to see. Maybe a couple new IPs. I want to see some shockers, man. I want to see some stuff I didn't even think of. Like, I would have said Silent Hill, but that's for me is a given. So I was like, let me challenge myself. But I want to see that there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see them work also on PlayStation Premium. If you're going to introduce it, make it more interactive and stuff. I mean, I'm not interactive. I'm kind of messing up my words, but make it, more to offer on there. I like it. It's just the offerings of it is not that big. I feel like they can release more PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 titles onto there. So I want... Oh, go on ahead.
No, I was about to say, I'm with you there. Like, I don't really have a problem with premium right now. I do want more. Because, like, right now, it's like, you're paying $120 a year. And for what you get, it's not bad, but it's like, it's like the bare minimum before it actually gets bad. So, you know what I mean? So it's giving you just enough to where you can't complain about it. And I want to say that the last month that they added Horizon Forbidden West to the catalog, as well as Legend of Dragoon and stuff like whatever happened last month was spectacular for premium members. And so I want to see a little bit more of that. And then on fact of that, we have Meet Your Maker that came out today. That's just the PlayStation Plus service in general. But just saying in general, like, we have games that's coming to it, which is nice. And
just give me the worst image of like a man in the water with a life jacket or just floating in the ocean. Like he's barely above water. Just
that's kind of what it is. Like, again, it's not bad. Premium is
Stranded Deep 2. What?
Yeah, premium is worth getting, but it would you would have to really be into your classic games to be able to enjoy what premium has right now. Because I would love for the bouncer to be on the premium pass. Like, I would love for that. That's just a personal preference for me. Final Fantasy X, even that, like, I know there's different ways of being able to get it before, but if you're able to get the HD remake of Final Fantasy X, I think that's a good get for people as well, versus them having to spend $15-$20 to get the bundle all together. If you're able to go ahead and just kind of get some of those older IPs and stuff like that was from the PlayStation 1, PS2 era, and then dabble inside PS3, I think that would be cool. Asura's Wrath is already on the premium service, which is definitely really a good one as well. Like, they have some good bangers on there, but I do think that they would benefit from having more on there and making it even worth more of your money to have premium. So I definitely agree with you on that. What I want to see from and again, my dreams when it comes into PlayStation Showcase just get wild. I ain't gonna lie, you guys don't know that about me. But I would love to see, obviously, Legend of Dragoon remake. Highly unlikely, but I would love to see something like that. I would love to see a Final Fantasy X remake. What if they remade Final Fantasy X, giving it the 7 remake vibes? That would be absolutely spectacular and amazing to me. I would die. I do want to. I do want to see clarification on the games, like with Mizu Kira was saying before. I do want to get clarification of the games that we already know about. But I am that type of person. I'm impressed by new games that come out, pushing the industry forward on what we can look forward to. Like, I definitely want to see Dark Soul aside. I want to see some more stuff for Black Wukong. Or Black Myth, Sun Wukong. I do want to see the Ninja Turtle game of what that will look like, especially since they're taking inspiration from God of War. Now, granted, is that going to be too early for this showcase? Yeah, we're not going to see the AAA Ninja Turtle game here, but I would love to see something like that. I would love to see another fighting game, and like the League of Legends fighting game that they're talking about, Project L. I would like to see that here, especially with Sony owning the fighting game space, like because they own Evo or whatever like the case is now. That very well could show up here. I want to see some more Tekken. I want to see more stuff like that. Like, I do think that would be things that will help make a really solid showcase. But ultimately, though, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I want to see some gameplay on that. I want to see some of my dream remakes get done. I think that would be amazing while I have time on this earth and go from there. So we shall see.
You got plenty of time on this earth. Don't kid yourself. You're young.
Facts. Story number 2. Steamdeck competitor. Luke Plunkett from Kotaku says this in the article. Let's be clear. Hardware manufacturers have been trying to make handheld gaming's PCs forever. The Steam Deck isn't the first, and it won't be the last. It was just the first to be truly successful. As a result of that success, that rivals now have been benchmarked to aim for. Though, is one of the first companies to take a swing at Valve's new crown is Asus. Launching under the company's Republic of Gamers, Rogue, or Raj, label is this Raj Ally. While the handheld's reveal videos runs for about 3 whole minutes, there's not a single mention of specs. Just the announcement that it will run on a custom AMD chip and that it'll be compatible with Asus existing external GPU power supply unit, the Raj XG Mobile eGPU used by its laptops. A bunch of the influencers got their hands on early devices early, and while their videos are also devoid of most useful hard numbers, they do mention details like the fact that the Ally will have an impressive 1920 by 1080 120 hertz display compared to the Steam Deck's 1280 by 860 hertz. That it's smaller and lighter than Valve's handheld as well. So, does anyone, as far as like right now, of the 3 of us, only one of us has a Steam Deck, which is it's the 9-ball. Does this do anything for you as for Asus coming out with their version of a Steam Deck?
This was bound to happen. I've been seeing knockoffs a lot lately, but to see somebody finally throw their hat actually in a ring. This is actually this is good for Steam because it keeps them on their A game. Mm-hmm. Even though Gabe Newell has already announced he's probably going to continue to do more, roundabout way. The Asus company is really good. Anybody that does like PC gaming, you have to be aware of Asus because Asus does a lot of motherboard stuff like that. Yep. So I feel like this should be a good one, coming in at 1080p compared to 1200 by 860 with 120. I'm looking at the specs right now in Engadget. Some of the notes on it. 7-inch touchscreen, but it's 16 by 9, 1080p. But the problem is this, and it was the reason why Valve went this low. It's because of simply one thing: battery power. The battery in a Steam Deck can be eaten very fast. You're playing like a game like, if I play like Max on, let's see, Red Dead Redemption, Death Stranding, or even the game I'm playing now, Control. It can do that. It can eat your battery alive. And the second question is this also upgradable? Valve's Steam Deck is completely upgradable. He's already said you can do whatever you want. Never mind, it is. It notes that the system will run on Windows 11, and you can even use a custom. You can even plug in an external GPU.
Now, is it going to be using a docking station?
Probably.
Yeah. There's a video showing that there is a docking station. So
similar to how Steam Deck works. I got a Steam Dock right now. You just put it on there, and it immediately upscale it.
Well, I know that Steam does that. I just want to make sure that they were going to do that because I'm like, if they're not doing it, I'm like, that's what?
But the only difference too that they're bringing up also is the price, because the Steam Deck is around $400.
They're going to say about $600 for this one?
They're saying most high-end handhelds are like $850.
Oh, jeez.
So Steam Deck hit that sweet spot in price as well. So it's going to be interesting to see where this one prices at. If it wants to be a Steam Deck competitor, if they're going to have to price it as such. You can't price it like $1,000 and go, well, get your kids this instead of a PlayStation. I mean, at that point, get your kid a PlayStation or an actual computer.
Pretty much. Now, did they say anything about memory in there? Like how much memory, how much RAM? Like what's? I know they're saying it's running the current like AMD chips for the laptop
Yeah,
set, but it's like, but what's the RAM capacity? What's the internal memory? Are they going to be running NVMe? Like I know there's talk also about, the module laptops that are coming out now. I'm wondering, are they using anything similar to that type of tech in there? Just curious if there's anything you've seen because like I know what Malachi says there's no information really given by influencers, so I'm not sure if there's been any leaks or anything. At least you've heard of. I haven't heard of anything on it, so
um,
I've been kind of like sitting and waiting type of deal.
from what I'm seeing, it hasn't really shown, but I'm gonna go off the Steam Deck, so it's probably gonna be at least 16 gigs of RAM because there's 16 gigs right now in the Steam Deck. Um,
Okay.
as for memory, it would probably run around between 500 to 1 terabyte, and initial probably about 500, but with an expandable micro SD slot or SD slots,
Okay.
which would be also good, which will allow you to expand the memory. So
Yeah, you
I'm
can
betting
even
that's
get
going to be in there as
terabytes.
well. Yeah, because
Okay.
they're going to have the size of games. You're going to have to move for expansions.
Yeah, that's why I was curious about it because that's the biggest thing. Like we were talking about, you know, the Final Fantasy 15 is like almost 100 gigs. Like, you can no longer run 500 gigabytes with like, oh, you can get like 10 games on here. It's like, no, like, what are you playing? Like Pac-Man? No. So that's the biggest concern with that. And then I definitely agree with you, Nine Balls. Battery is going to be the biggest thing, and that's always been a component that any handheld device has always had issues with is battery power and all. And I know like the current Samsung mobiles only have like better battery life, but as you stated, they're not pulling a lot. They're not like trying to run big end games and everything on it. So it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of compensate that on there and like what their battery life is going to be running at max capacity.
Yeah, because right now it's very like I'm trying to think of a word. Sorry, mate. It's varied on how long the battery lasts. It really, like I said, it really depends on what you're running. If you're running like if I'm playing like Chrono Cross, it's not eating up. Or my Final Fantasy IV remake, it's not going to eat nearly as much. Where at times it can last 6 to 7 hours right now, and some people are saying if you're running extremely high end games on all your settings maxed out, because the Steam Deck does have a versatility to where you can turn down a lot of your stuff in order to save battery power. Turn down your rates, throttle your GPU, throttle your CPU, turn down your frames per second, all that to help save the battery life. Because if they didn't, most people are saying it could last up to an hour or an hour and a half if you're running high end games just on the battery. So it's going to be interesting to see how they deal with that. Oh, that's ready.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely is going to be an interesting aspect to see, as you stated, because I'm trying to think here. The fact that what you said, especially with the life expecting them to be able to turn it down, you would think that they would have those capabilities regardless, But obviously, what we're stating here, guys, is that it's their system; they can do whatever they want. So, knock on wood, we're hoping to do it, but definitely the turn down would be good. Um, I'm curious on also on like sleeper mode rates and all. Like if they put the system into sleep mode, is it going to go into battery saving mode like you normally have on some like power saving modes on the systems? Are they including that in there? Like, how much are they going to shut down? Are they going to have like because I'm pretty sure like it's going to be running on like Windows. We said like a Windows 11 OS, right?
Yeah, Windows
So,
11.
like, I know that sometimes, and this is probably just me, but I've had issues where it's like if I put my system to sleep and then bring it back up, there's times where the game, like anything I have left running or pause in the background after it goes to sleep, can kind of like glitch a bit, in the background, especially like, or semi-crash, depending upon specs or what was happening to it, what was going on. And because this is a handheld device, I'm kind of wondering if they've got anything planned for games that if you put them on pause and it goes into a sleeper mode, without you turning off the settings saying don't go to sleep mode, even though it's going to burn a lot of power, what is that going to do to the games? Are we going to see any issues with that? Which it's not a big thing, but it's one of those annoying things.
I know with the Steam Deck, its power saving mode is actually really efficient. I've left it on power save mode without turning completely off for a couple of days, and it didn't lose hardly any battery. It was really good on that, but you just brought up another question. And it's something I've been looking at, and I just remember, how moddable is it? Like, for example, Steam Deck can run, I got Steam, I also got Epic Games running on mine. I got GOG running in the background, because I can go in there and I can switch to desktop mode and immediately run Linux. Or if I want they're saying too, if you want, and they even give you instructions, you can put Windows on there and just re-put your stuff back on there if you really want to do that. And that's going to be another big question too. As a Steam Deck competitor, how moddable and how much can you change of it, and how well would it run with Steam itself? Because Steam is one of the biggest sellers. And one good thing that the Steam Deck does is now they just put in a new feature. I almost forgot about this, to where when you download a game and it's on your Steam account, it can download from your computer straight to there, not from the internet, which downloads way faster because it's pulling the game straight from your computer, not from the. Yep, I just almost forgot they just recently did it about a week or so ago. Because a lot of people was complaining that if you had to delete, like let's say you had to make space, you delete Red Dead Redemption 2, a massive 90 gig game, and you want to re-download it to play it again. It would take forever to re-download it, or you can just now with that new feature, you can just, if it's on your Steam account on your computer, and computer's on, your computer I think has to be on, and you're not downloading anything, and you're not playing the game in your Steam account, it can just pull it straight off and start downloading it, or transferring the files.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I love it. Oh,
yeah. I think that for me, like as good as that sounds tech wise, I feel like for me, when I eventually get my version of a Steam Deck or Steam Deck or whatever, I think I'm still going to go with the Steam Deck. I think that'll be the better choice for me right now, unless this comes in at a cheaper price point, or relatively around the same. I just feel like it'll be easier for me to connect with my Steam Deck with my Steam account versus having to go through Asus and then have my Steam account through Asus or whatever the case is. Because ultimately, it sounds like regardless, both systems are going to be portable computers. That's what they're promoting them as. But
everything's going in that direction.
Yeah,
even consoles.
Yeah, but I think though that like of the two, if I really wanted to drop money on a handheld computer or a portable computer, I think Steam Deck would be the way for me to go, especially since it seems like they've already got the science mastered right now. So, story number 3, and this is the last story of the day before we start getting inside the fun ones to wrap it up. This is one we were talking about earlier. AAA Ninja Turtle game. Very excited. Woo! Marcus Stewart from Game Informer says this in an article. A video game based on the hit Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle graphic novel, The Last Ronin, is in the works, Polygon reports. The news comes from Polygon's interview with Doug Rosen, Senior Vice President for Games and Emerging Media of Paramount Global. According to Rosen, The Last Ronin video game will be a single-player action role-playing title in the vein of the Norse-themed God of War series. Like the story it adapts, the game will feature a mature tone. The game developers has not been named, and the project is years away from release. The Last Ronin was published in 2020 as a 5-issue miniseries by IDW. It takes place in a dark, futuristic New York where 3 of the 4 turtles have been killed. So the surviving turtle, whose identity is revealed at the end of the first issue, we won't spoil it here. I'm going to spoil it for you guys. Before I say that, do you guys want to know who it is, or you guys already know who it is?
I think I know who it is.
I know. I think I know who it is. Too.
Okay, so I will say
spoiler alert, guys. Spoiler alert, guys.
Yeah, spoil. It's coming in 3, 2, 1. It's Michelangelo.
Which is the biggest shocker for most people.
Woo! Dons a black mask and seeking revenge by using crime, both his and his brother, and the weapons of his fallen brothers. It's cool and very grim story if you haven't read it, and we're excited to see see it translated inside of a game. Rosen also mentions that the same interview that Paramount sees the opportunities to create different types of TMNT games that target young and adult audiences. The Turtles are enjoying quite the renaissance lately, thanks to the launch of a well-received beat-em-up Shredder's Revenge last year, the nostalgia trip of Cowabunga Collection, a Shredder-themed Call of Duty pack that's coming at the end of this year, and even a new animated film coming to theaters this August. End quote, end story. So
no, they can't redo that. I mean, the original Ninja Turtles, what was it, 1980s with the fake animatronics?
Yeah, I think, I mean, again, I don't know about you guys, but for me, for me, I do think a AAA experience of a Ninja Turtle game that's going to be like this, I think it's going to be really fun. My issue, well, I don't want to say issue, my preference is I would like to have all 4 Turtles in a AAA experience. Like, I would like to have something like that be, again, AAA versus all the AA stuff that we've been having in the past, which is not bad, definitely not bad. But again, like there's this one game that was on PS3 that I owned, and it was actually pretty cool. It was from a third player point of view. It was like directly behind the Turtles. Almost over like the shoulder, almost like a God of War setting, but you're running through, like, there's 2 of you guys at least, and then you're running through New York, and you're taking out all these ninjas and stuff. I had a good time with it, and I would like to have something like that on the AAA aspect of it. So this makes me happy for the future potential of what it can be. With it being the last Ronin, it's not going to be all 4 Turtles, which that's the part that's unfortunate, but I think this is a good step in the right direction. So I'm very excited about this.
No, it definitely is. It definitely is an interesting concept, and I definitely want to hear more about it. Because it kind of gives me like that Arkham Knights type of vibe, you know. So I want to hear more about it, and I want to see about it before I start geeking about it. Because I definitely would like to have maybe it's not just Mikey, maybe April's in there now too. Maybe she's no longer a reporter. Maybe she's a reporter vigilante.
Maybe Casey's doing some stuff.
Yeah, Casey Jones. Like maybe they're both in there or something. I don't know. Like it's going to be interesting to see what they do and how they do it.
Maybe Shredder's an ally on an enemy.
There's so much. He's an ally for now.
That knows everything.
Do you have any commentary on that before we kind of rapid fire the fun ones there, Nineball?
I just want to see more of it. I mean, I'm kind of on the fence of it. I mean, I understand that it went darker, but did it really have to? I mean, Turtles was always known for its zany, fun humor with the kids and stuff, but I guess, I mean, it's not the end of the world. But I just want to see more. I mean, I've heard a lot of things. People promise big things and none happen, so let's see what they got to do.
I will agree that, like, I do want to see more. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I definitely want to see more of it to see if my hype level can go any higher. But just the thought of a AAA Ninja Turtle game, that's what excites me.
Don't get a hype attack.
I'm gonna wait for more details, all that good stuff. But just the fact that it can exist in this space, that's what makes me happy and excited to see what that's going to look like. I still got to look forward to it. I'm perfectly fine with them going on a darker tone because I'm probably one of the few people that really enjoyed the newer Power Ranger movie that came out. Like there's a Power Ranger movie that came out and they were all like in detention. There is like a darker tone, versus.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that one either.
Yeah, I own
But
it. I own it. I'll let you guys borrow it at some point because I definitely.
I've never really watched Power Rangers that much. I didn't watch Power Rangers as a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my childhood for sure.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the.
I was
the
a
Power
Voltron
Rangers.
baby.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the Power Rangers movie, and honestly, to this day, I'm actually shocked that there's not going to be a second one. Like other movies and stuff, I can see them not being a second one, but for this one in particular, they announced that there's not going to be a second one, and I'm very shocked that there's not going to be one. So, like, I don't know. It's just really the one critique that I had about the Power Ranger movie was the fact that they spent such little times in the suits, like the fight scene at the end, all that good stuff. It was really kind of like not a lot. That was my only issue. Aside from that, the whole writing of it, the whole the characterizations that they have of it, and everything like that, all of that was great to me. And I was just like, man, this movie is awesome. So, bringing that, go ahead.
I was about to say, but you are getting a second part.
Not for
the Netflix show.
No, they're not the bringing that back to the Ninja Turtle thing though, of them going on darker tone. I'm perfectly fine with that, especially because the way that I look at it is that the way that it was originated, it reached us as a kid, and those characters that we know and love, they're growing with us. So that's one of the reasons why I liked the Power Rangers on a darker tone for that last movie that came out, and then even for this one, The Last Ronin, I think that again darker tone because when I was a kid, I watched a lot of Ninja Turtles. And
I lived on Ninja Turtles. Yeah. Okay, Turtles in Time. We played the arcade game.
Mm-hmm. But again, it's just one of those things that now that we're older, we know not everything is like sunshine and roses. We know that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so
I'm not saying that it's a necessarily bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of a change, and it's not the worst. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's the worst thing in the world. If executed well, it could be fantastic. Like I've never read none of the ones that stopped following Ninja Turtles. I mean, besides that Shredder's Revenge one we played, so I have not really followed the new Ronin ones at all.
Which, by the way, we need to get back to that. I would like to complete the Shredder's Revenge arcade. I had fun with that.
Yeah, but I would have to read it. I mean, you know me, I've read quite a few dark, shows. I mean, like I've said about 1 billion times before, I'm a huge fan of Warhammer 40,000. Which I don't know if you ever seen Warhammer 40K lore. It's not nice. That's just it's not nice at all. It's the darkest lore you ever see.
Yeah, it's it makes you question life. 40K does. It's so what is this?
So I don't mind. I mean, it's kind of interesting. I do like that I'm kind of divisive. I guess it's the child in me going, this is always a kid show. But, two, I see where you're coming from as well, going, yeah, they've kind of grown up. And I do like that they can set an alternate world, so I can be an open mind towards that one. But it's still part of, like, you see the 4 Ninja Turtles and Shredder and, Michelangelo eating pizza, Donatello working on stuff. Mm-hmm. Raphael and Leonardo arguing all the time.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, here's the thing, though. And people are like, "Oh my God, it's getting so dark. It's getting so dark." I'm like, have you seen some of the stuff that's on TV recently, or coming out on Netflix? Like, I'm kind of getting the feeling that people are liking a bit more of a darker, realistic side here, and maybe that's just me, but I don't know. Some of these shows are just, I don't know, like because like one of them, I can think of the best one that's kind of like shows like how like more darker can go is like I don't know if you're familiar with the old cartoon series called Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Of course, yes. I am.
Yeah, you seen the Netflix version of it?
No, I didn't bother.
Yeah, you're talking like going from My Little Pony into like Dante's Inferno is what you're talking about. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, I didn't.
I know Wednesday was. They said Wednesday was pretty dark.
Oh yeah, Wednesday's getting like it got dark.
But it's going ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's like I feel like that's just kind of like the tone we're getting nowadays. It's like so people are like, oh my God, it's getting so dark. I'm like, I feel like that's what's getting to people now. So they're looking not at like, all right, well, what was this show about? But more like, all right, how can we fit it to the current almost trend, almost theme, Like maybe it is us going like darker and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
But for me, go on ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I'm done. I'm not done. Sorry.
But for me, it's less of I guess for me, it's dark for a reason compared to just dark just to be dark. Like, I said 40K. Okay, 40K is dark. And sometimes 40K is over the top dark. I don't know if any of y'all have ever seen any lore in 40K.
No.
Okay,
so like the orcs that if they believe it, it comes true.
Well, yeah, you have that, but they're more like dark comedic humor. Or I'm not anything involving 40K. If I talk about, it's gonna be an hour long talking point. But it's dark. But what makes it good is that you can do one or two things. Either A, you can try to be so absurd with it that it's stupid, or you can just lean into it and be so absurd with it that it's good. 40K leaned into it where it's good. I think there is a difference between just dark and being brutally realism. 40K is dark. It's very dark, but it has elements where you can see this actually happening. And in some ways, you can go, wow, yeah, something like that. Even I'm a fan of Berserk, and Berserk is very dark. And where it's at right now, it's extremely dark. It's like at the end of the series. But I do like some of that, but I just sometimes don't like just dark nothing making sense, I guess, in some ways. Mm-hmm. It's hard to explain, but I mean, I see what Ninja Turtles. I mean, I like that it is kind of dark in some ways, and I'm hoping that even though they have the darker series, that they keep the lighter ones going as well. The Saturday morning cartoon ones.
Yeah.
Because I kind of want to introduce like the kids to like Ninja Turtles. I know people like to introduce the kids. You want to like introduce them to like all the dark shows.
Do you want to show them the what was it? Was it the 2010 or something Ninja Turtles? The one
we're not going to talk about that. The Michael Bay.
Quick little side note. I see that the alert cost is working now because Hey It's Abs just she just went ahead and redeemed the bruh for 200. So there you go. I know I said I was going to do it after the show, but it's adjusted. So moving forward, you should be good to go ahead and use your alerts. All that good stuff.
Alert us, Abs. Alert us.
Just do it. Make your dreams come true.
All right, now you're going overboard.
She's just spamming it now.
She did another one that says it was Shia LaBeouf going, just do it.
Oh God.
She says, I'm happy I had 1,000 points saved.
Oh God, not Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, there you go. And then she just did another bruh. Okay. All right. She said, okay, I'm done.
I think she. I think we need to.
I stifled her, so she's letting it all out just now. That's what's going on. That was happening.
Oh, okay.
All right, so quick little fun ones on here for you guys, for anyone that is interested in any of these fun ones out here. So first one, we have four fun ones out there, and here's one where it's from Final Fantasy 14, free expansion. Luke Plunkett from Kotaku says this in the article. Because Final Fantasy 14 has somehow evolved into one of the biggest games of video games on the planet, Square Enix has decided to grab some of its older content out of the back fridge, reheat it in the microwave for a bit, and serve it up to a whole new audience of players who probably weren't around when it was first released. I'm talking specifically about the game's second major expansion, Stormblood, which was released 6 years ago as a premium piece of downloadable content, but with which for the next few weeks will be made available for free, provided you already have the paid subscription. They're not just giving it away to free/trial players. So if you guys are interested in checking out Final Fantasy 14 and haven't got the Stormblood yet, which is it's the third content of story, but it's the second official DLC, because the first one is Realm Reborn, which is the base game. Then you have not Heaven's Word. Oh yeah, it is Heaven's Word, right? Then it's Heaven's Word. Then after that is Stormblood, and then it's going to be Shadowbringer. So, and then after that there's Endwalker. So yeah, so if you guys are interested in that, make sure you guys are checking that out. Once again, Stormblood, it looks like it's going to be free for new members of the subscription service. On here, more second fun one, more PS classic games on the way. We were just talking about that, yeah, I know, right? Dalton Cooper from Game Rant says this in the article. Sony has filed a patent for legacy games that has multiple discs, suggesting more multi-disc titles could very well... Oh, that's awesome, actually. I did not even read this. So, yeah, let me...
Valorant's Quest, what was it? Valorant's Quest, I believe?
Yeah, there's quite a few, because there's Muriashi and stuff like that. Like, there's quite a few of them that's out there. Legend Dragoon was one of them, and, I mean, that's already on there now, but... Sony has filed a patent for legacy games that has multiple discs, suggesting more multi-disc titles could very well be making its way to the premium tier of the company's PlayStation Plus subscription service at some point down the line. Since last year, Sony has split its PlayStation Plus service into 3 distinct tiers, with premium tier giving subscribers access to a slew of classic games on top of the titles that includes essential and extra tiers. PlayStation Plus Premium lets PlayStation 4 and PS5 gamers access a variety of titles that were originally released for the PS1, PS2, PSP, and PS3 systems. There are many great PS1 games readily available to play through the PlayStation Plus Premium, with new titles added to the lineup on a regular basis. Now it seems Sony is trying to open the door to bring even more classic PS1 games to the service. That's great news right there. And that's kind of what you were just talking about there, Nightball. You literally were just saying that. So, yeah, that's right on the money.
Yeah, they need more. I mean, I love some of the games on there, like the Intelligence Cube, stuff like that. But getting the multi-disc game, like I said, Vagrant Story, Parasite Eve, those style of games on there, oh, man, that's going to be awesome.
Yep.
You think they get Dragon Guard in there?
They could.
Dragon Guard, yeah.
Talking about classics.
Fun one number 3, we have the Super Mario Brothers movie. Phil Owen from GameSpot says this in the article. Folks have been having all sorts of emotional turmoil about the new Super Mario Brothers movie since the moment it was announced that Guardians of the Galaxy and Lego movie star Chris Pratt would provide the voice of Mario. All that gnashing of teeth for nothing, though. The Super Mario movie is both pretty funny and also just plain pretty. This movie is a feast for the eyes. This adventure begins in Brooklyn with a pair of brothers whose family plumbing business is, despite a stellar local TV and featuring the Super Mario Brothers Super Show theme, struggling. Brother and brother plumbing outfit. In this economy, forget about it. Fortunately, these normal life problems are pretty quickly forgotten when Mario and Luigi venture deep into the sewers to try to find out why Brooklyn's streets are spontaneously filling with water. They discover a weirdly intricate structure that goes deep underground, but before they can explore fully, Mario steps into the wrong pipe and is transported into the Mushroom Kingdom. So, yeah, I'm definitely excited. I'm actually very excited to see this movie.
I thought you were going to just tell us the whole story the way it was going at first. I was like, you don't want to stop yet.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely, I definitely am excited to see this movie, and I'll let you guys know my thoughts when I get around to actually going to watch it in theaters. We might even have a little ALWT gaming outing to have everyone go watch this movie all together. We'll see.
I'm down. I'm definitely down. It's definitely looks so much better than the live actions that they've done with this. And
don't talk about that.
I'm talking about it. It looks so much better than that horror fest that they released. In the past. So yeah.
Which one are you talking about? You talking about the red one, the blue one, or the green one?
Both, all 3. All of that, 9-ball, all of that. It's just. Oh, that stuff was just cringe. You know, you're talking about cringe materials.
Actually, I read a thing about that. They said the guy was drunk when he was filming most of that movie. The original Mario Brothers. Yeah. He was not on it, and they wasn't on it.
Wow.
It's like Charlie Sheen.
And then the last fun one is PlayStation Plus updates, because we got new games that came out on Plus today. So PlayStation Plus, Dalton Cooper from Game Rant says this in the article. As far as the free PlayStation Plus games go for April, subscribers can now claim Day 1 game Meet Your Maker, Sackboy: A Big Adventure, and Tales of Iron. Native PS4 and PS5 versions of all 3 games are available to download. The games will be free for PlayStation Plus subscribers to claim until May 1st, at which point they will be replaced by a new batch of free games. So that, my friends and family, is All Things Gaming episode 9. We are in there like swimwear. So make sure you guys again are checking us out on podcast services such as Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. And also, we do plan on having some streams that's going to be happening this month. We're going to bring back the 9 to 5. That's happening this month. It's going to either happen on the 15th, 22nd, or 29th. One of those days, one of those Saturdays, we're going to dedicate it to a 8-hour stream or 9-hour stream. 8 hours is 8 hours. 9 to 5 is 8 hours. So 8-hour stream of gaming.
Trying to make us go over.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I know, right? Yeah. So 8-hour streams of gaming. We're going to choose a game that we're going to talk about and play about and all that good stuff. Something that we haven't played before. That's going to, or barely played, I should say. And we're going to go through it campaign style, cooperatively, and have some fun with it. So we will see what game that will be within the week. Within the week. By this time next Tuesday, we will have confirmed what game that'll be. Yes.
Is it Phasmophobia?
Nah, fam. No. But again,
all I heard was clucking there, 9-ball.
you can hear all the clucking. You know, I mean, cluck, 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 all that. But yes, once again, I'm Malachi36, aka Flash. I'm here with It's the 9-Ball and Milzy Carrot. We are signing out for April 4th, 2023. I do want to mention one thing before we actually officially dip out. Not only that, am I going to mention once again, you guys can get your raised energy drinks from Ret Sports, reppsports.com. Type in ALWT game out. Check out, get 50% off your drinks, all that good stuff. Obviously, you guys know I was going to say that. But I also want to mention out there that moving forward for YouTube videos that's uploaded, I found out how to actually get chapters in there. So if you guys wanted to skip around and find certain chapters that we're talking about, so story number 1, that might be at like the 5-minute mark, while story number 2 will be at that 18-minute mark. You know what I mean? Like I was able to space them out that way. I did that on the last video, so make sure you guys are checking that out. But moving forward, we're able to go ahead and start dividing our videos, our recordings in chapters. So if you guys want to skip around on YouTube, by all means, be my guest, just like Beauty and the Beast.
Be my guest. I was thinking the song when you said the rest.
But like I said, once again, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Until next time, everybody. Control, Alt,
Complete.
Peace. Get them points. They're discounted now.